Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Crystal Flaffy, and today we're going to be talking about Anu. It feels weird saying the name just like that, because I'm so used to saying Anubis. But Anu is the evil one. We're talking about it because by the time this video goes up, we should have the pre-festival starting for Anu's Super Evolution Festival thing, and all of that. So yeah, let's just go right into it with fire. Also, I do kind of want to say, but I am uploading this on my birthday, so happy birthday to me. Yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyway, we won't be talking about the stats too much as we go through the Astro Guide, just because there is super evolution for them, so we'll talk more on the stats when we look through the super laboratory thing. But anyway, here we are with fire, and here's the variant. I like the variant. Stat-wise, which we are still going to mention them, but just know that they do get better. Stat-wise, it's a tank, really good HP, and its defense and attack are both pretty good as well. It's nice to see that little extra defense it's got there. Nice to see it's a bit tanky, because looking at the skills, well, first off, it does have a critical boost for its leader skill, 15 to 20% crit rate up. Very nice for pretty much all the Anubis. Then on 3-star, we have stun, 70% 1 turn. Skillbooks make it 80% 2 turns, and give a 15% damage boost. And on 5-star, we have HP aggression. So, based on its skills, there are a couple places we can use it. So first off, Tower of Chaos, just for its stun being general CC mon. With books, it does get really, really good. 80% 2 turns is pretty damn good, which would be very helpful for floors 80 and 100, where CC is not required, but very helpful. And then, also for PvP. CC is amazing for PvP, pretty much in general, and so is HP aggression. And how you would build it, you can either go triple HP and just try to capitalize on that aggression so it can do more damage, or you can go HP defense, well, where you'll still have some decent damage, but you'll also have a lot more survivability. So it's kind of a toss-up there between whichever you want to do, whichever you want, more damage or more sustainability. Personally, I would probably go triple HP, and then try to get some defense from subs and trinkets. And you can use it on attack or defense, but it would excel more on defense. Should point that out. But anyway, let's move on to water. Oh, and I realized I forgot to show the Evo 1 and Evo 2. Both cute little guys there. And then Evo 3 here again. Here's the regular. Here's the variant. I love the variant because of the hair color. I've just got so used to the variant Anubis as well, like my water's variant as well. I realized I said as well there twice. My bad. Anyway, looking at the stats. He's an attacker, and he has a decent attack stat. A really good attack stat, actually, for Nat 4. And then his HP and defense are both quite low, but Super Evolution can remedy that a little bit. Then, looking at the skills, on 3-star, he has defense down, 60% 2 turns, and skills make it 80% and give a 15% damage boost. And then on 5-star, he has Predator for 50%, and skills give a 25% damage boost there. It's worth noting, he's one of the few cases where Predator is 50%. Usually, I think it's more common that we see Predator at 40%, so his is a little bit stronger than most, which is nice. You can use him in multiple places. So first off, you can use him in Titans, just for that defense down, and then he'll have some decent damage on his 5-star. But keep in mind, he doesn't excel at either of those things. He doesn't excel as a debuffer or a damage dealer in Titans, just because with damage dealers you want Courageous Strike and Unflinching Strike. And then with debuffers, you either want pure debuffers or a mon that has a debuff and either healing or Courageous Strike / Unflinching Strike. So he is usable for that, but he'll fall off in viability. You can also use him for Fire Colossus, just for the defense down to kind of speed up your runs. And if your run isn't super fast, and you manage to get his bar full, you know, the Predator is pretty nice as well. You can also use him for Dark Colossus, just for his defense down. But not super viable there. It's just a possibility. Then PvP offense. While using him for PvP offense, you're not going to really get too much out of the defense down, just because you're going to be facing teams that usually would have a lot of resist. But you're really going to like him for that Predator, which can also be very helpful during special season. And how I would build it, you can build him fully offensively, so like crit rate attack, crit rate attack, crit damage, something like that. Or you can try the Bruiser build. You know, he's not super bulky, so the extra HP and defense. Bruiser build, for those that don't know, is HP, attack, defense. So the extra HP and defense you'd get would be pretty nice. But personally, more offensive builds might be better, just because you can get the HP and defense from trinkets. So there's that to keep in mind. Then, moving on to wood. And wood would be right about here. Okay. There's the regular and the variant, which are actually quite similar. I might like the regular more, just because the green is so bright, so much brighter. But I think I've just grown so used to the variant for this one as well. So yeah, I'm going to stick with the variant on this. Stat-wise, he is also an attacker. His attack is lower than Water's, but his HP and defense are both a little bit higher, I believe. Looking at the skills, though, more than makes up for the lack of attack in comparison to Water, as he is double Hunter, and both get a 25% damage boost from skill books. You can actually use him in quite a bit of content. You can use him anywhere you'd want a wood attacker. So, Titans, you can definitely use him there, but keep in mind he will fall off when you start getting more Courageous Strike and Unflinching Strike mons. You can use him for PvP offense. You can use him for farming anywhere that has water mons. Very nice. So, like Aurora Plateau. Wait, yeah. I think it's the gold stage of Aurora Plateau has water mons. But I meant to mention Aria Lake, Seabed Caves, things like that. Anywhere that has a lot water mons, period. Then also for GB7, very good there. And is that all for farming? I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. And how I would build in crit rate attack, or crit rate attack, crit damage. He does have double Hunter, so he is crit required, so you're going to need a square slot to get his crit rate as high as possible. Because, of course, getting max crit rate without a crit rate gem is very difficult. But yeah, you can throw a survivability gem on there as well if you really need it, but I would probably just build fully offensively and go with trinkets for the survivability, if it were me. So, now we have light. Here's the variant. I like them both. So this is a tough one. This is a very tough one. I think I'm going to go with the variant just because I like the color silver more than I like gold. So, this is the one for me. Looking at the stats though, he is a tank. He has a pretty good HP. And his attack is actually decent as well. Whereas his defense is quite low. Looking at the skills, we have defense down 100% 2 turns. And then on 5-star, well, that was on 3-star. And then on 5-star, we have Thirst, 60% chance to lower by 30% for 2 turns. I don't have a light Anubis right now, so I can't check the skill books. So, yeah, just going off of a guess, I can assume defense down would be brought up to 3 turns and give a small damage boost. And then Thirst would be brought up to like 80% and give a small damage boost there. That's just guesses though. Feel free to let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong or whatever, or the specifics. But anyway, where you'd want to use it. This is quite, I don't know, light Anubis to me, I feel doesn't have any place that it excels. Just because defense down and Thirst they don't mesh too well together. The defense down is great for Titans, it's great for Dark Colossus, but isn't super viable anywhere else. I have seen people use light Anubis on PvP defense, which is good because its Thirst is very good on AoE for that. It's amazing with its Thirst. But defense down on single target for PvP defense isn't that great, because as soon as it lands the defense down, the AI is going to make your whole team target that mon with defense down for that turn, for the following turn, I mean, which can cause you to lose the match. So yeah, that's something there. The Thirst is really only viable though for PvP. Which, don't get me wrong, he does still pretty good for PvP defense, and he could even do well for PvP offense. I haven't seen anybody do it, but it's a possibility, because the defense down is pretty good for that, and then Thirst as well is decent. Keep in mind though, Light Anubis is part of the fusion tree for Light Shiva, so you can somewhat farm it, and also it does have a purpose outside of just using it. You can get it to Evo 3 and then sacrifice it into the fusion for Light Shiva. That's what I did with mine. So yeah, it is something you can do, but of course you can keep it and build it and use it if it's a mon that really appeals to you. But anyway, let's move on to Dark. So here's the regular and the variant, which kind of goes into the same thing as with Light, as I'm just not that big a fan of gold. I like the regular. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the regular. It might change depending on the super evolution, but just going off the regular forms, I like the non-variant for Dark. Looking at the stats though, it is a defender, pretty good defense, pretty good HP, and it's a okay attack as well. Its attack doesn't matter too much though, which we'll get into with the stats. So on 3-star, it's Sap, 60% 2 types 1 turn. Skill books make it 90% 2 turns and give a 5% damage boost. On 5-star, we have Defense Aggression, and then skill books give that a 35% damage boost. So skill book values are overall very good. It's just the one thing that holds Dark Anubis back is that its skill combo is not great. Both skills individually are good, but together don't work too well. Though, keep in mind, that doesn't mean Dark Anubis is a bad mon. It still can have use. You can use it for GB10. Its Zap is really strong for that. And then also the Defense Aggression can help with the waves. So there's that to keep in mind. And then also PvP as well, whereas the Sap isn't going to do too well there, because Sap just isn't overall great for PvP, but the Defense Aggression and just being naturally bulky is pretty good. So whenever he gets his bar full, he's going to do some decent damage. Just keep in mind though, you're probably going to want to pair him with mons that can generate SP for the team, so like Light Succubus, Light Persephone, Dark Sparkit. Who else off the top of my head? I know there's so many others, but off the top of my head I can only think of those 3. But anyway, that's going to be it for him, and how I would build him. Like all aggressors, I would probably go triple whatever their aggression is, so triple defense would probably be best. You can go HP, defense. Just keep in mind, that'll make him a bit less, or he'll do a bit less damage, but he'll probably be a bit more survivable. So there's that to keep in mind. And before I show some of the Anubises that I have, let's just go over the stat boost they get from skill books, from Super Evolution, and what they look like with it. So there's the Chibi form and the adult form there. And looking at the HP, it gets a lot better, over 40k, which is very nice. That's like Nat 5 tank stats. And then its defense is very good as well, just adds to its bulk, which there isn't much to say there. But there is something that I did want to mention about Water, which is, even though its HP and defense are still low, its attack is insanely high. That is close to the higher levels of attack in the game. I believe that is tied for the same attack stat as Fire Indra, which we already know. Indra is in the upper echelon of attack stats. We don't have a lot of mons with a stat over 4k, not including HP, so very, very strong attack stat there. Then we're looking at Wood. Its attack stat isn't as good, but it does have a bit more bulk to it, I believe. Let's see, 25k, 25.8k, and then 2.5k. And so about 800 more HP and about 200 more defense. So overall, a little bit bulkier and slightly less attack stat, but the Hunter on 3-star does make up for it, of course. And then we have light, HP stat really high as well. I believe it was higher than fire's. Yep, just by a little bit. And even though light isn't going to be that tanky just because its defense is pretty low, it's going to do more damage in comparison to fire on 3-star. On 3-star, of course, fire will do better when it uses its 5-star with its HP aggression. But yeah, there's that. And then here's dark stats as well, which I love that they added the red in there. It's very cool, very cool. And its its defense is really good as well. It's overall, very good stats with the super evolution there. Will we have in the Super Festival go on? I will be doing it. I'll be super evolving my fire. I had it just sitting there for a long time, just waiting for a festival to come around for it. But I haven't really used it much, you know. But maybe I will after super evolving it, and I will need to put on better gems, of course. But anyway, I have them on triple HP with Ruin set, and there's quite a bit of defense subs. See, we have 20% defense there, and there was one on this one as well, 13.5, which is pretty nice. Its resist is too low, though. Much too low for it to be viable for defense. Here's the final stats, which I think I could have shown the final stats after super evolving it as well. Yeah, so this is the stats that it'll have after super evolution, and I will be going with the adult form, by the way. But anyway, let's look at water, which I haven't used my water in a long time, actually. I don't really have a place that I want to use him. I used to use him for Titans for his defense down, but then, of course, I got other mons that can do that better, and just haven't really been using him since then. I have him on a crit rate set, crit rate gem, attack, defense, which he would definitely need higher crit rate, as 78% crit rate is not great. And then wood is the one that I use most often. Have him on attack, HP, crit rate, which I know I do need to change this. I do want to change this crit rate gem to, this HP gem to an attack gem and put trinkets on him, but I don't have the gem that I want to replace it with right now, and I don't have the trinkets for him just yet. But here are his stats. And I don't have light or dark at the moment. I forgot to mention about dark. Dark is also part of a fusion tree. So here we have dark, which is part of the light Hohenheim tree. So he is farmable as well. And also, besides using him, besides using him for content, he does have another use, which is fusion. I did already fuse for this guy here. I'm just working on the beetle to get the Hohenheim. But anyway, how I would prioritize them. Wood goes first for me, high above the others, just because Double Hunter is great and it is usable for a lot of content. So he's a very versatile mon and a very strong mon at what he does. Next, I would put fire because it is a very good defense mon. Its skills work well together, and it has decent stats to back it up. Next, I would put water, just because it's a very good attacker. While defense down and then predator isn't ideal, it does still help. You know, it is still good. Having defense down and then a damage boosting skill on 5-star is still very good. It's just, if it was Courageous Strike or Flinching Strike, it'd be so much better. And then Dark is next because, while both of its skills individually are good, together they don't work that well. And then Light is last for me. Keep in mind, this is all just personal preference, or what I think is most viable. Like, if you disagree, let me know. But Light is last because both of its skills are great, again, but they don't mesh well, even worse than Dark skills mesh. Or the synergy between defense down and thirst, in my opinion, is worse than the synergy between sap and defense aggression. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Once again, happy birthday to me. I'm old. I'm old. So old. Anyway, have yourselves a good one. Like, comment, subscribe if I didn't already say that. Hit the bell, that sort of thing, you know. And have yourselves a good day. I'll see you guys all in the next one.